Just start your segment intro before I start reading it.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me.
Alright, fine. One of our favorite ways to kill time while we're waiting for a pizza or something is to use the remarkably fast internet connection here to space to satisfy our collective curiosity on the way things are, how they got to be that way, and how they could be so much better one distant day. This is the cleverly named...
You are so full of yourself.
Who else should I be full of?
Just say the thing, AJ.
ZiZi.
TIL! Oh,
That's
nice.
All right. Now, today we were feeling kind of rowdy with everything going on.
Hey, there's a lot to get riled up about these days.
And you know, one of my favorite realities of being a human being is how thin the line can be between order and chaos. The impact of material circumstance. Like, this CoWork space in the past was an Italian restaurant. Right now it's a shared office, and in the future it could become a hurricane shelter, right?
I hope not.
The space is equipped to do all these things. What brings us to a given outcome is material circumstances.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about how people take different actions based on what's going on around them.
No doubt. MLK, at least the version of him that isn't a Funko Pop, once said that a riot is the language of the unheard, and I think that's an important thing to keep in mind.
Oh, is that why those people stormed the U.S. Capitol last year?
I don't know if they qualify as unheard. Those people get heard from plenty. Besides, that was not a riot. That was legitimate political discourse. A tour, if that.
Oh, right. Must be why nobody who planned it is in prison.
There's got to be some reason. Anyway, riots can be horrifically destructive or constructive. If we're talking about the 5 days between MLK's assassination and the passage of the Fair Housing Act. Coincidence. You know, that piece of legislation that guaranteed everyone the right to own or finance a home.
Every man.
You know what? That is a fair amendment. But hey, that is who the U.S. Constitution was written by and for. Men! Yeah. That is why we're having this conversation in a coastal Mexican co-work space. But yeah, you know, what many people do not realize is that riots can also be hilarious. For example, did you know the first ever top hat kicked off a riot in London?
Outrageous!
Oh, you have no idea. And neither did John Hetherington, a 19th century haberdasher who just wanted to show off his new hat.
The world was not ready.
It was not. The mere sight of the hat, according to historians, caused dogs to bark wildly, women to faint, and general panic in the streets.
Over a tall hat?
Well, monkey time often comes without warning.
Oh.
Yeah, the fashion debut was a real shirt show. People lost it. Pretty much every cop in town showed up, at least 376 of them. And apparently, a child had his arm broken severely in the uproar.
How did that even happen?
Unclear. Not a lot of logic at work here.
I guess people eventually warmed up to it. So Abraham Lincoln wore a top hat. Wait, was that why he got...
No, that was for different reasons. But we will get to states' rights in just a little bit. But while I do have the chance, I want to take what might be the only chance I ever have to talk about another presidential top hat wearer, Warren G. Harding.
Oh man, Warren G. Harding. I can't really think of another U.S. president with an archive of ardently amorous poetry and prose.
Yeah, that dude was in heat or something. You think JFK or that saxophone guy from the 90s liked a little office coffee?
Oh.
Look a little bit into Warren G. Harding. Multiple credible accounts from his various mistresses. It is probably the thing he's most famous for besides dying in office.
But we're not here to talk about President Pepe Le Pew here.
Sure.
Let's get back on topic.
Right. Weird riots.
I like the one we read about where the mayor got knocked over with a wheel of cheese.
Yeah, that actually happened. Those things are heavy, man.
Yeah, they weigh a ton. I just laid eyes on one last week. This great Italian place in town made our pasta in it. It was full of love, honestly. Like, super strange to think it could hurt somebody in the wrong context.
Well, material circumstances. Much love to Abbraccio Cucina Italia for having us in for a review. It was really nice not to eat ramen for 2 days last week. Riots locals, keep an eye out for my review of Abbraccio in this week's PV Mirror.
Hey, way to slip an ad into a presentation about civil unrest.
I mean, is it any different from what YouTube does?
Capitalism. It never fails us.
It pretty much always does.
Oh, like, you'll be on one of those guided meditation videos and get suddenly blasted by some stupid ad for Frick Donald's. Like, there's gotta be somewhere that advertising isn't allowed. Like, imagine trying to look up CPR instructions, but wait, first, watch this set of 30-second ads and too late.
Who knew a futuristic dystopia could be so mundane?
I thought we'd at least, like, get cool outfits.
I mean, look at us. We have cool outfits.
That's true. One human's trash.
Hey, maybe we could throw in a few LEDs. Really sell the futuristic aspect.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, speaking of YouTube and wheels of cheese, we were watching that weird English cheese chasing thing recently.
Okay, hold on. One more riff, then back on topic. We both hate when podcasts spend like 5 minutes talking about something that's only funny or relevant to them.
Well, I hope it's funny and relevant to them. But, you know, I thought it was funny how they all go tumbling down the hill like that. You know, absolutely no regard for their bodies.
It is super monkey.
You know, it's hard not to see the origins of the human species when you look at stuff like that.
Like, it's not even like it's just a hill. It's this super steep angle, pretty much the tallest hill that isn't a mountain.
Like, there's an advanced technique, too. That's what I find wild.
Yeah, like, there was this girl whose father was an 11-time cheese chase champion in the men's division, so she went into the family business. I don't know what the compensation was, but they showed how she learned to run at a 45-degree angle. Even when she fell, she would, like, roll over and pop up on her feet at full speed.
Yeah, it was like she was trying to do motion capture for a Sonic game.
That is honestly the perfect... yes, she was so natural with it.
Literally been doing this since she was a baby. Her father was an umpteen-time cheese chase champion.
That is the crazy part to me. Like, you love this particular activity so much that you win the world championship a dozen times and go, please, sir, may I have some more? You even got your children into the perilous pursuit of cheese. Like, what am I saying? At what point is it enough already with the cheese chasing?
Well, enthusiasm is a powerful force. Makes people do some crazy things.
All right, there's the opening. Back to our main conversation.
Good callsies. Well,
Thank you. Wasn't there a riot involving a balloon, speaking of fun and games?
Oh, yeah, it's all fun and games till monkey time. That's a good one.
Ha! Right. Back in 1867, there was a very special exhibition planned to debut what was claimed to be the world's best balloon.
The biggest, the best, just tremendous. Many people are saying...
No, that's enough. But, no. Yeah, that was pretty much the sales pitch. Henry Tracy Coxwell promised the assembled crowd the biggest and best balloon in a time where hot air balloons had just been invented. It was all very exciting.
Provocative. Got the people going.
Yeah, that it did. People showed up to the square by the thousands, ready to see the biggest and best balloon in the 19th century world. Just one problem with the presentation.
So it turns out it wasn't the biggest or the best, believe me.
I asked you to stop.
Fine, I'll stop.
Okay, but yeah, rumors had spread among the crowd that day that the balloon was not even the biggest and best in Henry Tracy Coxwell's collection. The people demanded answers.
Tick-tock, monkey time.
Yeah, monkey time. The barriers got broken down, and the scene eventually erupted into insanity. As is tradition when the property of elites is at stake, the cops were called in.
You know, I've heard it said that if you have a problem and you call the police, you now have at least two problems.
Yeah, that's definitely the way it turned out here. The badges showed up and immediately employed their signature de-escalation technique of striking a citizen in the head with an object. This time, it was a woman.
I'm sure that was a real crowd pleaser.
It was not. The riot got much worse from that point, if you can imagine.
Imagine
Apparently, there were less than a half dozen donuts on the scene, so they quickly lost control of the crowd, as any 5 individuals would, cop or no cop.
You know, crowd control is a funny concept if you know anything about crowds or control.
I will never forget the Travis Scott concert.
Oh, man. All right, that's where we're going?
It ties in perfectly. A total lack of planning and responsibility that led to a disastrous final outcome.
Well, we're here. I really don't understand how somebody with the resources that they have could possibly fail to provide, adequate medical staff for a large event in the midst of a pandemic, no less. Have we learned nothing in the past 150 years?
No, I understand very well. It costs less not to protect anyone. The promoter saved on staffing at the cost of 10 lives. I think about it all the time. Like, the value of human life.
I mean, I guess that depends. Do people value their own lives?